endless quilt of stone and sand. Jagged canyons carving through it like deep scars. Thermal imaging cameras scanned for any sign of human heat signatures, but the screens stayed eerily blank. It was as if Daniel had stepped out of his truck and simply evaporated. Search teams worked in grid formations, combing the slopes, inch by inch, marking the ground with orange flags to track their progress. The flags soon dotted the landscape. But none marked anything that brought them closer to answers. For 12 days straight, the operation continued. They checked dry riverbeds, caves, and crevices, the kinds of places where lost hikers might take shelter. Nothing. No footprints, no torn clothing, no discarded gear. Even the usual telltale signs of desert scavengers, bones, animal tracks, disturbed soil were absent in the areas Daniel might have crossed. It was as though the desert itself had been scrubbed clean of evidence. A few of the older rangers whispered that the land had closed over him, the way it sometimes did in local folklore. But they kept those words out of their official reports. As the days wore on, the volunteers' spirits began to falter. Temperatures soared past 100 degrees Fahrenheit by midday, and the heat radiated off the rock walls like a furnace. Dehydration became a real threat, forcing some to be airlifted out. At night, when the temperatures plummeted, searchers swore they heard faint sounds in the distance, boots crunching gravel, a voice calling faintly, but no one could agree on the words, and every time they tried to locate the source, it vanished into the desert wind. By the end of the second week, command reluctantly scaled back the search. The official statement given to the press suggested Daniel may have gotten disoriented and succumbed to heat or injury far from the last known location. But within the ranger community, the theory didn't sit right. Daniel wasn't just familiar with these trails, he had trained others to survive in them. For him to vanish without leaving so much as a scuff mark in the dirt, it didn't feel like an accident. It felt like something or someone had erased him. As the official search effort wound down, the local chatter began to grow louder. In the small desert towns surrounding Big Bend, everyone seemed to have a story about the place where Daniel disappeared. Some swore they'd seen lights drifting through the canyons long before that night, not the yellow glow of lanterns, or the harsh beam of flashlights, but pale, bluish orbs that moved without sound. Others talked about hearing distant, rhythmic thuds echoing through the mountains, like something massive walking where no trails existed. At the dusty gas station just outside the park's entrance, a weathered old man named Alias told reporters about Santa Elena Canyon, not far from the ravine where Daniel's truck was found. He claimed it was cursed ground, a place where the earth remembers and sometimes calls back what it's taken. His father had warned him never to enter the canyon at night, saying that if you listened too closely, you could hear voices carried on the wind, voices that didn't belong to the living.